Hello, guys. My name is Erick Gutierrez, and the three things that I learned about my family's ethnicity and culture were cultural practices, traditions, or their celebrations. Is that around February and March we celebrate a carnival for Ash Wednesday, where it begins on that Friday. So Friday to Tuesday, we celebrate by just doing party throughout the whole city. The downtown area is full of live music, fresh food stands, and thousands of people go and celebrate the holidays. People from the neighboring cities they join us, and also people from this country. I know a lot of people that I'm not family with. They go and visit, they go party, and then so from Friday to Tuesday we celebrate, and then that Wednesday coming up is Ash Wednesday. On that Wednesday we begin the Quaresma, which is a 40-day period of abstinence, and within that 40, you don't have to make a promise or anything. You could just, within yourself, you tell yourself you're not gonna have certain food, alcohol, any drugs, or anything that you kind of want to take a break in or on, and you don't touch that for 40 days. And that is pretty much what Quaresma means, is a period of abstinence. The second thing, or a second tradition from my hometown, is from August 1st to August 16th. We celebrate the birthday of La Virgen de la Asunción, which is where the town gathers at the main street that goes from one end to the other end of our city. And I wouldn't say the whole town, but a substantial amount of people gather, and they walk down that main street, which would be like 5-6 miles, singing, chanting. It's like a big parade with the Virgin, it's like a 4-foot statue of the Virgin. People have her on the shoulders carrying her, and I believe it's called procession. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not familiar with the terms, but it's like a parade for a spiritual reason or religious reason. And you walk a couple, 5-6 miles until you get to the main church in our hometown. And you do that every single day from August 1st to August 16th. And after, the whole town is also partying. There's live music, there's a ton of bands, there is a lot of food, traditional food, there's a lot of pastries, there's a lot of sweets. It's a big celebration for about 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks. And then the third tradition that we have in our hometown is on March 21st for spring, we have a parade with children. It's all the kindergarten classes from within the city. They gather up all the kids and they walk up and down the town, where everybody just waves at them, saying hi to them, kind of welcoming them to school, and also is welcoming them to school, and kind of, it's a symbol as well. You have small kids just beginning pretty much their whole school career, and at the same day that March 21st, I believe, spring begins. I might be wrong, but there is some sort of meaning in regards to the children and the beginning of spring. The two things that surprisingly, I did not have many things from my culture, from my ethnicity. I thought I would have more, but my mom just came back from the city where we're from in Jalisco, which is called Jalostotitlan, Jalisco. And one of the things that we make in our hometown, it's a tradition that since the town was created, we sell jamoncillo de leche, which translates to milk fudge. And sometimes we put walnuts, sometimes we put other type of nuts, but this is pretty much what it looks like. Milk fudge. It is creamy, it's milky. There's no chocolate, it's fudge because of the texture, but it's really good. It's almost like tastes very like a caramel or cajeta, if you know what cajeta is. It's sweet, it's soft, very tender. It's very good, very sweet, and yeah, it's one of my favorites. The city where we're from, we actually produce it. It's produced everywhere in Jalisco, but the one that we make, this is a very simple one, but we also produce like huge blocks of it, like 5 by 5, 5 inch by 5 inches. They're different colors. Some have pink, some have like white, and then this light brown color. I do not have some of that, but this is pretty much what it looks like. And then I did a little research, and this was created right after the Conquista, which is when we got taken over by the Spanish. And then once the dust settled and we were conquered, the nuns that were brought by the Spanish, they started messing with our ingredients that we have, and they created this sweet pastry candy looking food, which is pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. And then the second thing that we are kind of known for would be this, which is fruta cristalizada. Now, I'm not a big fan of this, but we do produce tons of it. We produce a lot. People from neighboring towns, neighboring cities, they drive up to where we're from, and they buy as much as they like because it's everywhere. And yeah, that is fruta cristalizada. I try to look into the background and how it's made. There's a lot of different ingredients. There's a lot of different ways to make it. There's a lot of different ingredients that people use. But it's pretty much you get fruit. It could be pear, it could be some other sort of fruit, it could be apples. You boil them in water, and then for 24 hours, I believe, slowly. I might be wrong, but this is the way that I found. And then it is put in another pot with sugar syrup, and it's also boiled there, so it kind of adds volume to itself because of the sugar. Then you let it dry up, so then it becomes kind of hard. This is probably a better piece. So it's pretty big. It's very soft on the inside. It's kind of hard on the outside, but it's very soft on the inside. And so this is usually, this you see a lot of. I actually have a whole bag. Let me show you guys. It's a whole bag that we brought, or my mom brought from Jalos, Totitlan, where we're from. And this dessert is used for instance, is used on Dia de los Muertos, which is Day of the Dead. And it's also used for Dia de las Roscas. We also put on little strips on the rosca. This is pretty much what it is. Jamoncillo de leche. This one, we use it during the holiday season. And you'll see a lot of it during Semana Santa, which is Holy Week, and around Christmas time. And then you could also just go to there's people selling it in the street. There's little shops, little stores. It's a very common pastry or sweet that we have. One or two things that I liked about this assignment was that, it's not often when you sit in front of your mom or your dad, or, and you start talking about your hometown and just, I asked her about, how this was made, or if she could give me a background of some of the things that we had, and we just went off topic and talked for about 30 minutes on pretty much how Grandpa came to town, Grandpa's dad, like 100 years ago with his dad, and a lot of background of the where the family and how we got there was what I learned. And just went off for about 30-40 minutes, talked about the hometown until we finally came back to the subject of the sweets that I have. So it was nice. I like that. I like that I was able to sit in front of my mom and we just talked about Grandpa and Grandma and where they come from and how the city used to be back in the day and how it has such a strong religious influence. Yeah, I mean, the second thing was that I just liked how I learned about the traditions, and I used to eat this all the time, and I never really thought of why we eat it, how it's made, where it comes from. So it was very interesting for me to, 20 years later, since I've been there, kind of go back in time and think of how and why we consume this traditional pastry and sweet that we have, and how this was relevant to the course. I mean, it's relevant because it kind of pushes us to dig a little deeper to our ethnic background, and it kind of reminds us where we're from. It reminds us to be proud of our background, to be proud of our ethnicity, because at the end of the day, that's where we're from, that's who we are, more importantly, like it or not. And it's always good to be close to your ethnicity, to your roots more than anything. And this way I'm from Mexico. I'm sure a lot of people from Jalisco, Mexico, maybe one or two people from the class, or hopefully we have people from other parts of the world, Asia, Africa, other continents, maybe European descent, or straight from Europe. And that would be kind of nice. That'd be very nice to learn about them. But yeah, I'm sure in this class we'll have people from Mexico, with other parts of Mexico, maybe nearby or far northern Mexico, southern Mexico. And I feel like this is what this class is about. You learn about the importance of your ethnicity and the importance of being tolerant, and just learning about everybody else's ethnic background and how to be more tolerable and get along. And we are all different, but at the end of the day, we have more to share, or more in common than we realize. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have to share. So my 2 items: jamoncillo de leche and fruta cristalizada. Thank you guys. See you around.